Hey everyone, it's Dr. E, and I'm coming before you with an encouraging word. So, as I was just sitting here and I was just, reflecting and thinking um, on, what the Lord wanted to say to the people of God today, I was thinking about a lot of the questions that I do receive from those that standing and believing him for the reconciliation and the restoration of their marriage. And so my name is Dr. E, and God has called me to stand with those that believe him, as I said, for the reconciliation and the restoration of their marriage, because he restored my marriage after being separated from my husband for 8 years. And we have since been restored for 5 years and married for 22 beautiful years. And so one of the questions that I do get is, how did you ever trust him again? And which is a very, very good question, a loaded question. And so in the process of the 8 years, as I usually say when I'm, talking and ministering to people, during that time of standing, it was a time of transformation for me, where I began to know God in a way that I had never known him before. I began to have a personal and intimate relationship with God. I knew him as my father. I knew him as my friend. I knew him as my provider. I knew him as Rapha, because he began to heal me um, from the very hurt in my heart. So I knew him in different dimensions of him. And so even in that, I also learned to trust him. And so when he restored and reconciled my marriage, there is a process in restoration, and that's another video. I'm always telling you that's a whole nother video, but there's a process in restoration, and I want to focus in on, how did you ever trust him again? I realized when God restored our marriage that I could not make my husband be faithful. There was nothing that I could do to make him be faithful. It was only God that could cause him and make him be faithful. My hope, my trust, my faith had to be in God, right? And so the more I showed God, the more I showed the love of God, the more I showed who God was, the more I let my light shine. That's what drew him in even more. Matthew 5 says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven." So as he began to become more attracted to me, it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there. I had to lead him to Christ. So as he began to start developing a more intimate relationship with the Lord himself, God was the one that was able to keep him and get him on the right track. I couldn't do it. There was nothing that I could say. See, when a person has a personal relationship with God, then they would have personal conviction. Nothing that I say, nothing that you say can make them be faithful. It's the personal relationship that they have that will cause conviction. The more they have a relationship with God, the more God will convict them when they do things that's out of the will of God. I hope this is making sense to you. And so now going back to, how did you trust him? As I developed my trust in God, I could develop my trust in my husband. I learned in this time that my relationship with my husband was indicative to my relationship with God. When I found myself not trusting my husband, it let me know that I wasn't trusting God. This is good, y'all. If I found myself not trusting him, okay, God, where am I not trusting you? Because someone can be with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still cheat, and still do what they want to do, because it's a matter of the heart. Y'all got to get this. It's a matter of the heart. The Bible tells the husbands to love their wife as Christ loved the church. They can't love their wife the way Christ loved the church if they don't know Christ. And if they don't know how he loved the church. Is this making sense? So the more you get in position so that your husband can know who Christ is, then he could know the love of Christ. So then he could love you the way Christ loved the church. That was a mouthful. That's why transformation in the wife, I'm talking to wives right now that's standing. That's why transformation is so very important for the wife. Because there is a process in which you have to be transformed so that God can use you as a vessel to get to your husband. But if there's so much going on within you and you're trying to figure this out, well, what is he doing? Why is he doing all? Then your affection is divided. Then God can't flow through you freely the way he wants to get to your husband. It's levels to it. That's why God has me in the place now of doing, individual coaching and group coaching for those women that God has given them an assignment to stand. Because everybody's not going to complete the assignment. And everybody's not going to take on the assignment. Right? And so that's why he's called me to a place of coaching women individually and by groups. So, with that being said, if you are interested in group coaching or individual coaching, go to my website. There's going to be a free informational session that will be this coming September 22nd. It's on my website. September 20th, I think. One of those days. It's on the website. You can register for it. It's virtual. And we'll be able to talk a little bit more about individual coaching and group coaching if you are interested for the next cohort that starts in October. But yeah, so that's how I came to the place of learning and understanding how to trust my husband even more. Because I can't force him to do it. Only God can. This is Dr. E. God bless you all.